This time I have an infrared digital thermometer that was given to me. I was told it doesn't work. The fellow that gave it to me said, I put a new battery in it, it's dead. I was going to throw it out. I thought about you. Merry Christmas. You can have it. Great. What do I need this for? Okay, we'll take a look at this thing and see if I can figure out why it doesn't work. And maybe it's something simple. Maybe it's shot. If it's something simple, I'll fix it. If it's shot, into the bin it goes. Let's check it out. I was given this. This is a digital thermometer that will measure temperatures from minus 40 to 800 degrees Celsius or minus 40 Fahrenheit to 1472 Fahrenheit. I was told this thing doesn't work. I'm throwing it out. It's completely dead. I thought, okay, well, maybe this might be something that would be kind of interesting to tear down and see if we can see what's wrong with it or so forth. See if we can make it work. It indeed is dead. The fellow that owns it told me that he tried a new battery in it. So first things first, let's check the battery. 17 volts. That's not good. That's terrible. I have a sneaking suspicion that my fluke, well, it's a fluke if it's accurate, because there's no way in hell that a 9-volt battery puts out 17 volts. But I did notice that the battery icon is on my puke meter. So I'll change the battery on the meter. Alright, the battery that came out of the meter is measuring minus, well, 4.8. So that battery is dead. The battery that came out of the tester here is 9.5. So the battery that came out of that little thermal thermistor is good. So now we have to find out why this is not turning on. So let's take it apart and see. Maybe it's a broken battery terminal. That's a possibility. But we're going to open this thing up and see why it's not working. And maybe I can fix it. Otherwise, off to the junk heap this one goes. If you wonder what all that noise in the background is, yes, I do have the heat on in here today. It is a little bit chilly out, so I've got the heat running at least for a few minutes until it gets a bit warmer in here. Terminal's on the bottom. There's one screw there. I'm sure there's got to be other screws that hold this thing together. Laser radiation. Do not stare into beam. Avoid exposure. Laser radiation is emitted from this aperture. And it's greater than 1 milliwatt. I don't think we have to worry too much about that. Is this going to pop apart? That's the question. Maybe another screw under here. And that pops off, and there is another screw hidden under here. Okay, now will it pop apart? Maybe. I think there's got to be another screw. It is possible that either the front pops off or that pops off. Okay, maybe the back pops off as well. There's the laser. Maybe this back piece pops off, and then it'll pop apart. There, that comes off. There we go. Alright, let's just pop the button assembly off. Okay, now maybe this orange clip will come off here, this one on the front here, and then the unit will just fall apart. Take that off. Now this thing should pop apart, I would think. Pull that sticker out of there. Don't need the quality control sticker. I'm thinking this should just pop apart at this point. That pops apart there, and this pops apart on the top. There we go. Okay, we're in like Flynn. And another pry point right there. You can see where the pry points are. Pry this one here. There's got to be another one on the bottom here. I don't need to stab myself again. You guys don't want to know what happened. Trust me. It involved power tools. It was one of those moments where words that were said, if there was a video made, which there wasn't, words that were said would have immediately had the video taken down for abusive language to myself. I said some words that cannot be repeated. Well, let's just say that there was many words dropped at that point. I was not a happy camper when that happened. And let me explain what caused that, what caused this pain of a, I keep the bandage on because I don't want to have those fainting. But I will say that it involved that. That is what went into my finger. That. And it was working on a piece of wood, basically just trying to drive a screw into a piece of wood. It was a handle for a Lazy Boy recliner that had snapped in half. And I was attempting to put a couple of metal brackets on each side to hold the handle together. And, well, let's just say the screwdriver slipped. And my hand wasn't that close to it either, but when it slipped, it became painfully close enough. Let's just say that. We'll leave it at that. And I will say, had I had some Robertson screws, this wouldn't happen. But I was using Phillips screws, the worst screws ever invented other than slot. It wasn't on camera. One of these projects that I was working on that I was not filming because you don't need to see me fixing a piece of wood. But let's just say, I said worse words than ouch. Mother was one of the words that was in there. All right. Okay, we got this thing apart. Let's just take this board out here. And I see that I've already dropped out the spring. I take it this spring sits in here behind this trigger. I guess this goes on like that and holds that trigger together. And if I'm not careful, that spring is going to launch into space. But that's what pulls the trigger back. So we'll just let that spring release its tension for the time being. Interesting device. So it's got one chip here that's been encapsulated and some wires that have been glued down. This is our measuring chamber. The back there's a lens on there. And I guess that focuses the, I don't know that they're using the laser to reflect. The laser I think is just targeting. That just gives you an idea what you're actually looking at. The lens focuses the spot on the sensor, the back here, that is measuring the radiant heat. But I'm more interested in, first of all, why they have terminals down here marked positive and negative that go absolutely nowhere. Maybe it's for a different model that has a rechargeable battery. It's got these terminals here marked positive and negative, but they're not connected to anything. So maybe there was a rechargeable version available. But I'm more interested in, is it getting power? So let's just clip the battery back on and see if I got power getting to the board. Oh, what the hell? That thing just lit up. Alright, what the hell did I do to it? I didn't do anything. I just took it apart. And when I connect the battery, it lit up. And the display came on. Okay, what the hell did I just do to this thing? Because that never happened before. When I put the battery in, nothing happened. If I pull the trigger, does something happen? I was thinking maybe the battery terminal is broken, but the wires are not coming out of here, so that's not a problem. Plug that in. What happens if I push the trigger? Does it light up? It does light up. The laser comes on and blinds me. Does it shoot a dot or something? What does it do? Oh, okay, now it's not lighting up again. Alright, false alarm, it does have a problem. Oh, well, the battery clip fell off. That would explain why it's not working. Let's just try that again. Is it the battery clip? Maybe the battery clips. You know what? It might be the clip. It might be the terminal here, the positive terminal. That might be the problem. Okay, there you go. There's the dot that tells you the temperature. What happens if I point this at the heater? It tells me that the heater is 114 degrees Fahrenheit when I pointed it at the heater. Alright, let's just, I bet you that's the problem. It's the battery clip. See, that one's tight and this one is not. Could the fix be this simple? Oops. Well, that's going to make it real tight. I should just go get another battery clip and put it on here. Like, it's not like I don't have battery clips. Let's just see if that one is going to be tight now on here. It's tighter than it was. I'm thinking it's just the little springs in here have over the years become weak. I've replaced this clip. Maybe I should just do that, but I do have spare clips, but it's just that I'm running low on them. So if I've got one that's not like totally shot, then I might just be trying to just tighten it up a bit, because I do have a couple of them, but not like I used to. I used to be able to get these things at Radio Shack when Radio Shack actually existed. There. That is a much better connection. I'm just going to throw this thing together. I mean, at least you guys got to see what's inside one of these units. I've never seen inside of one before, until now. But the circuit board sits in here like this. The battery clip in here. This top piece goes on. I got to put that spring back in and try not to lose it. That's another thing. This spring may have been popped out and sitting and shorting something out on the board. That's another possibility. But I think it was the battery clip itself was not making a good connection. So we'll put this. We'll put the push button in there. That will depress the switch. We'll pop this piece back on. And throw the two screws back in. And we'll just start throwing this thing back together. And I believe that's the correct way. And then this goes on. This is a grating. Okay, so this is a lens in here. That's a lens. That laser fires through that lens. And I bet you it creates a pattern. That goes on like that. And then this piece and on here. No, these pieces go on first. It just snaps on like that. then this other, that goes, snaps in like that. And then this piece goes on here. There's a lot to putting these things, taking these things apart and put them together. That goes clean that screen. And then this piece, the buttons go in. And that snaps on like that. And then the bottom cover, it snaps on like this. And then the battery now snaps back in with the repaired clip. That's what that little diffusing grate did. It gives you the dots. So if I turn that on and measure it, 81.5 degrees Fahrenheit. What is that? 63 degrees Fahrenheit. 57. Pointing it at different things. 64. Let's just point it at some things that we know are going to be very, very hot. Let's point it up at the light, and it says it's 131 degrees. I know you guys can't see it, but the plasma screen is 80.6. Can you see that? The bench. All right, that's the target. Let's get the, well, I already see what I measured it, but put the spot on there. Can we guys read it? With the camera focus. There we go. Okay. 525 degrees. Point it right into the center of it there. 500 degrees. Yeah, it's pretty warm. It's probably what the temperature that element is. And it's probably 520 odd degrees. So it seems to be working. And it's nice and warm in here now, so I can shut that thing off. That draws 4.8 kilowatts. Is that a dead bug hanging from it? Looks like it. I don't use that much, right? Only when it's getting chilly out. It's just about freezing today. I think it's like got down to like 3 degrees last night, 2 degrees. So I put that one on for a bit just to bring the temperature up, and then the small one sitting beside me will keep me toasty warm. Anyway, good as new. Don't exactly know how these things work. I'll have to read the instructions, but it's got all these different settings, like for average temperature, and then Celsius or Fahrenheit, light, lock, hold. So if you measure something and you hit the hold button, it'll hold the temperature. I just pointed it at the heater I've shut off now. It's cooling down a bit. I guess I should read the manual that I got with it, because the fellow that gave it to me said, yeah, you can have this thing, it's broken. Don't want it. I bought a new one. He dumb as a box of hammers, I guess, because, you know, he should check things like the battery terminal. Anyway, neat little tool. I'll hang on to this for future use. Might come in handy for checking temperatures of different things. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.